Da, 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 da. Yes, that was my imitation of the classic Disney intro because we all know it. You know that bit? So I've been tagged by BrittanyBearPaws to do my top 7 Disney villain tag. This will consist of my 7 top favourite Disney villains, so let's get started. So the one I'm going to start with is the one that started it all, Queen Grimhild. She was the original badass because she was jealous of Snow White and she had to make herself turn into an old lady to give Snow White an apple so she would kill Snow White and take her heart or something like that. But Disney never... She was the original badass, she was the original villain. She is the first villain in a Disney movie anyway. She's the very first villain in a Disney movie and she is my number 7. Number 6, if you don't know her, then you should watch this. Cruella de Vil. Yes, my number 6 place goes to Cruella de Vil, the one that likes to kill puppies and turn them into fur coats. I mean, what a son of a bitch! I mean, who wants to kill puppies? Who wants to kill puppies and turn them into coats? And why Dalmatians? Why Dalmatians of all puppies? Like, surely there are other dogs that have better coats. I'm just as bad as her! No one sucks like Gaston, no one smells like Gaston, because Gaston just sucks and no one sucks like Gaston. Yeah, I just made that up. So my number 5 goes to Gaston, who's got the worst name in Disney history, I reckon. He's just this really muscular guy who likes to mistreat women, which is always a bad thing. If you mistreat women, you're just automatically a dick. And he just mistreats the woman, and he tries to kill the man that and he tries to kill the man beast that she's fallen in love with, because you know she's into bestiality. And he tries to kill the beast that she's fallen in love with because he is jealous and he just doesn't understand their love. Why can't he just let her love a dog? Why? No, he's not a dog, is he? He's like a what is he? He's a beast of some kind. I don't even know. Number 4 goes to the funniest villain, I reckon, in Disney. And if you don't know who she is, let me paint you a picture. Ooh, I know. I'll turn him into a flea. A harmless little flea. Then I'll put that flea in a box. And then I'll put that box inside another box. And then I'll mail that box to myself. And when it arrives, I'll smash it with a hammer. Yes, it is Yzma from Emperor's New Groove. She is probably the funniest villain ever, and she has a sidekick Crunk, who is an absolute moron, but he is amazing, and I love her so much. The fact that she's trying to kill the Emperor so that she could be the Empress, and the way she does it is by trying to kill him with poison, but turns him into a llama, and then this whole escapade of trying to kill him, turning into different creatures in the end of the film, is just so funny, and it is a really funny original film, and she is hilarious. And now we enter the top 3. My number 3 goes to probably the most darkest villain. The darkest villain that Disney has ever portrayed. His name is Judge Claude Frollo. I think I got that wrong. After killing the said baby's mother on the steps of a church, he then goes to try and kill the deformed baby by throwing him down a well and drowning him and sending him to the pits of hell. After failing to kill him, he was forced to look after the baby. The baby will grow up to who we know him as the Hunchback of Notre Dame. But as the Hunchback grew up, he was forced to stay inside of Notre Dame's walls and he was never allowed to see the public. Even though he falls in love with a gypsy woman, but he is not allowed to see her. And you have to see the film, what happens, he's such an evil man, and he tries to burn the gypsy. Burn the gypsy? Why would you want to do that? So he is my number 3. Number 2. This was a very, very hard decision to decide who should be number 1 and who should be number 2. But because number 1 is a little bit cooler, that means this guy is number 2. And that, number 2, is Scar. Scar from The Lion King. Now this guy, he's got some issues. He has some family issues. He hates his brother. He hates his nephew. He hates everything and everyone. He kills his brother in front of his nephew in the most weirdest Trumpic way. And then he tries to kill off his nephew. equaling in him being killed at the very end of the film because he took over Pride Rock and he made it rubbish. And Simba comes back and he defeats Scar, and Scar gets eaten alive by hyenas. He is my number 2. And my number 1 spot, my number 1 Disney villain is Hades. Hades. He is probably the most coolest, most badass, most awesome, most epic villain ever. He is incredible. He is just so suave and so cool, and he just hates Mount Olympus so much. I'm trying to remember my Disney memory here. But he is just incredible, and he tries to overthrow Zeus so he can be overlord on the Olympus. Olympus? Is that what it is? Olympus? It's not the Olympics, it's Olympus? But yes, he tries to overthrow Zeus, and he also tries to kill Hercules when he was a baby, but failed because his 2 minions are idiots, and he didn't drink the entire valve, turning him into a normal human, so he was a demigod. Makes sense? No? Watch the film. If you haven't watched the film, what's wrong with you? So he is my number 1, and that was my top 7 Disney tags. So in this part of the video, I am going to tag 3 people. Who shall I tag? First person I'm going to tag is Days of Cartmel. If you don't do it, Steve, I'm going to cut your throat in your sleep! My second tag is Slightly Steve Pro'd Up. If he doesn't do it, although he might not even see this video, although he is subscribed to me, I think. So if he sees this, you're tagged. And my third person I tag is PewDiePie? Yeah, why not? I tagged PewDiePie. YOLO. So anyway, that has been my top 7 Disney villains. I've been Jord Wild, and it's been lovely seeing you. I haven't said that in ages! Woo! Mr. Jord Wild. Yes, it is Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove. Yes, it is Yzma from Roberto? Roberto, you're not even in this. Yes, after brutally murdering his mother on the steps of the sanctuary of his own church, he goes to kill the misshapen... Bleh. After killing the said's mother on the steps of the church, and then... Bleh. After killing the said baby's mother on the steps of the church, he then goes to try and murder the brute. After killing the said baby's mother on the steps of the church, he then goes tries to after killing the said mother's it's not the after failing that he is left to look after the baby, and which will grow up to as we know. After failing to kill the baby, he is left to look after him until he grows up to who we all know as the hunchback. After killing the baby, he is then left to look after it until it grew up to as we know him as the hunch. After failing to killing the baby, he is left to look after it, and he grew up to know. After failing to kill the baby, he was forced to look after him, and he grew up to know. After failing to kill the baby, he was forced to look after it. The baby grew up to who we know as Hunchback of fucking Notre Dame. After failing to kill the baby, he was forced to look after him. He then Jesus Christ. After failing to kill the baby, he was forced to look after him. The baby would then grow up to. After failing to kill the baby, he was forced to look after it. After failing to kill the baby, he was forced to look after him. The baby would then grow up to know. After failing to kill the baby, he was forced to look after him. The baby will grow up to who we know as the Hunchback of Notre. After failing to kill him, he was forced to look after the baby. The baby will grow up to who we know him as the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yes! But as